before we start cutting out our fabric, I want to show you sort of a pro tip. We use the iron a lot as we sew. Most of y'all have access to an iron at home, and so it would be great if you would be able to use that for this project. The iron that we have here in the shop, which I'm going to show to you right now, is this industrial iron. Some of y'all have met it before. It's much heavier than your one at home, and it has a separate, if you look up, it has a separate water tank way up there on the camera. So that we can have a lot of steam. Your home iron will be great for this project. But I just wanted to show you that you also want to press your pattern pieces. As you can see, they're sort of got folds in them and are not very tidy after you cut them out. And again, you can see I cut them out on the solid line, leaving this line will be your stitch line when you get this cut out. So what you want to do for pressing your patterns is you don't want to have the steam on your iron. And I have no way of knowing what your domestic iron situation is, but usually it has some settings and then it has a button on it that you need to engage in order to make it steam. So you want to not engage that button when you're pressing your paper. Because the paper can stand up to heat, but the steam won't be good. On what it means for our industrial iron is that I'm not going to turn on the water in that big tank up at the top, okay? And I'm not going to press this button here, which is how we release steam, okay? So I'm just going to flatten the patterns out like that, and then I'm just going to gently move the iron over it. And press out those creases, just like that, okay? And you see how much nicer and flatter that is after you do that. So that'll give you a good shape. If you leave those creases in there, you're not going to get a good shape on your fabric. In addition to pressing out your pattern pieces, you also want to press your fabric. Now, Julie did a lot of pressing of this fabric before it came to you, but it will come to you with some wrinkles in it. And in order for it to be nice and neat for you to cut, and you can see we're also using some scraps. These are actually some old curtains that are going to be the lining for my bag. When you go to press your fabric, because all of these are mostly firm cottons and whatnot, that is when you do want to use steam. So you want to take a look on your domestic iron, and again, usually there's a button or something that you engage so that you make it steam. There's generally also a place to pour water into it, so you want to make sure that there's water in it. And then engage your steam, and then you can steam your fabric, okay? I'm going to show you, if I can, how we turn this knob up here. Oh, the lighting is going to be horrible for me. You're just going to have to trust me. It's lefty-loosey to loosen that knob, okay? And then on our iron, you press that button and you see the steam come out, okay? And so that's how I will press out my fabrics, okay? But press your fabric and your pattern before you move to the next step, which is cutting these things out, okay? Again, you press your paper pattern pieces using no steam, and press your fabric using steam. Great. All right, we'll see you when you're ready to cut.